Hi guys, this is Brenda coming to you live on Wednesday evening, Wednesday late afternoon, coming to you live from San Diego. And I'm super excited to be able to share this evening with y'all. And tonight we have a couple of special guests. We have Josh and we have Carmen. And we are going to be sharing about their experiences on our amazing products and how their kids that have autism have really benefited from the Nrf2 activation. So what I want to do now is I'm going to go ahead and invite Carmen to join on the Facebook Live first. So give us a second here. Come on board. For those of you guys that know me while we're waiting for Carmen, you know that I'm absolutely passionate about health and wellness. And I'm passionate about health and wellness because of my own, other way, Carmen, there you go, sweetie. Perfect. So I'm passionate about health and wellness because of my own health journey. I had gotten really sick and have, I'm a cancer survivor, and I've also recovered from really debilitating fibromyalgia and debilitating chronic fatigue. And it all has to do with being able to activate my body, and I'm passionate about being able to share the science of activation. And so we've got two folks that are going to be sharing their stories today. And it's not about, healing. We don't make any claims about healing, treating, preventing anything, but we do believe that when you activate the body, when you lower that oxidative stress, when you lower that cellular damage, the body is a miracle body. And when we give it what it needs, amazing things can happen. So I've got Carmen Geary on live here, and she's going to share what's happened with her son. Because Carmen, share a little bit about, when did you find out? We've been talking for a while now, and you've had your son Aiden on our Nrf2 activators for a while now. Can you please share a little bit about your story? How were you introduced to our Nrf2 activators, and what have you experienced? What's been the experience for your son?
Well, I was introduced to the product back in January, and I was approached by a strange woman that I didn't even know, who is now my angel, Vicky. And she basically reached out to me on a forum and sent me a message and said, hey, I want you to look at this video and tell me what you think. And so I checked out the video, and I thought, wow, that seems like something really great, because I had actually been in the process of studying things that I could do to help my baby. And I knew for a fact that there wasn't anything out there and that could actually do something like this. And so I have to admit, I was skeptical, and it took me, I came to a point of desperation, like at the beginning of February with him. He started to regress a lot after being pulled out of public school and then put into homeschool. His regression just started to really be noticeable. And so I was at a point of desperation, and I thought to myself, why not give it a try? I've tried everything else under the sun. I've tried, I was living in the health food store every week, became best friends with the guy behind the counter, and he actually tried to help me and do research. You've seen, Brenda, the box of supplements that we've thrown out now, because we're able to revert to just this. And so after about, I would say, a month and a half of taking the supplement, we really started to see progress with Aiden. He started to communicate. He started to be more focused. He was engaged. He started eating foods that he never would in a million years touch: fruits, vegetables, just playing with toys, not spinning the toys. We were able to go to the movies, and he sat, and watched a movie, and without having a meltdown, without having overstimulation, and just the conversations kept coming, and they kept coming, and they're still coming. And so in June, we actually got to take Aiden to the Dak Prescott football camp for the Dallas Cowboys. And that football camp had over 1,000 kids, and it was a camp for just normal kids, not special needs. And we were very hesitant at first because we thought, oh my gosh, what's going to happen if, you know, we get there and he has a meltdown or overstimulation? And it wasn't just one day, it was 2 days. And he was able to withstand both days. We were really thrilled. He had no meltdowns, no overstimulation. There were so many people. We got to go up and actually, he was presented an award by Dak. And we were just really thrilled to watch him be able to do those things. And going to church, like now we can actually go to church and he can sit and whisper. You know, before, I mean, he didn't even know how to whisper. It was always a you know, screaming at the top of his lungs. I mean, a full-blown meltdown. And he shakes people's hand now. He has better eye contact. The list is just going on and on and on. And I'm so thankful for these products, because for everything that the doctors and the specialists and the therapists ever told me that he couldn't do, I mean, he's surpassing those goals. And for my family, it has been life-changing. We all are living, I would say, you know, a normal, you know, for us, a normal now life where we can take him out to the park and we can take him out to restaurants and we can, you know, again, take him to church, and he's not embarrassing us, and he's not, we can't even remember the last time that he's had a meltdown. And so that's been, you know, amazing for us, because it was constantly, all day long, meltdown, overstimulation.
Carmen?
Yes.
Carmen, tell us, when was Aiden diagnosed with autism, and how old is he now?
Aiden was diagnosed with autism at the age of 3.5, and Aiden is 7 now. So we have been hitting therapy hard for these last few years, and we're talking Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 therapy, and nothing, and I mean nothing, has helped Aiden as much as these products have helped him.
Okay, so tell me this, when you first started sharing the Nrf2, the products with him, what were some of the small things? Because sometimes people will say, well, what should I expect? What were some of the small things that you experienced that you noticed first that kind of gave you a little bit of hope?
What we saw just was the calmness. He was able to just chill out. He slept through the night, which was, you know, really hard for him to do. And I'm talking about past like 5 o'clock in the morning. He would actually wake up like every 2 hours, like a newborn baby, yelling at the top of his lungs forever. And it was amazing to have found this product that stopped that. And now every night before bed, I mean, he lines up. He's like, I need I need that Nrf2. I need that product. And so he is just excited. You know, this afternoon, I was counting some on the table, and he walks up to me and he's like, I want some. And I'm like, you have to wait, you know, I'll give it to you after you eat, because you haven't eaten lunch. And he's like, yay, he's so happy to take it. So it's just it's a blessing to see, because I mean, I remember the days where we used to have to shove pills, like literally shove pills down his throat. Because we wanted some kind of progress, you know, and like I said, I mean, we've tried every supplement under the sun. We've done every diet autism diet that you could imagine, and nothing has given us this success. And like I said, and then just watching him eat new foods, that was huge for us, because he started requesting, I mean, he had a chicken nugget diet, so he started requesting tacos, and he started requesting nachos, and he started requesting hamburgers, and he hated hamburgers. He started requesting, you know, breads and fruits and vegetables, and just things that, you know, it was just those small things that were huge to us.
Sure. Now tell me this, Carmen, what made you say yes? You had tried so many different things. What was it about this that made you say yes?
Basically, I knew that I had to find something to help him just detoxify his system. And after lots of research, we actually spent all of last year going back and forth to Dallas, Texas, to Children's Medical Center, and we saw a number of doctors and specialists and therapists who really couldn't give us answers. So I really had to take things upon myself and start to study and really hit hard. You know, I had to figure it out. It was like, you know, a puzzle. And I just did the research and I did the research, and I knew when I was approached with this product, I mean, I kept thinking to myself, this is too good to be true. I'm so skeptical. I've tried, like I said, everything under the sun. And then I'm like, okay, here's this woman that I don't even know, and she's trying to sell me this product. Great, you know? And so glad that I said yes, and that I totally would have missed the biggest progress of his life had I just not been open-minded and just, you know, taking it for another supplement that is, you know, smoke in the wind. I mean, I have to say that this has been the greatest thing that has happened to our family.
Awesome. You had shared something that really, you know, touched me, and I hope that you'll share it with the folks that are watching, but you said something about, like, as a mother of a child with autism, you always were worrying about the future. Tell us how you feel about his future now.
Yeah, as a mother of a child, especially with special needs, you always worry about what's going to happen to your baby if something happens to you. And that was always a major concern of mine, because we don't know what tomorrow brings. And for me now, I can honestly say without a shadow of a doubt that I have the biggest peace of mind with this product, because I know that as long as this product is available to him, he will thrive forever. So I have just, I'm so confident that if something were to happen to me, he would be good.
Yeah, that's powerful. That's powerful. So before I wanted to say thank you for, you know, so just so that we have a little bit of context for anyone that's watching this. So for kids that are on the spectrum, what we know is that for those kids, we need to lower oxidative stress, which is that cellular damage. And these products lower it by, and there's clinical, you know, studies that show that it lowers it by 40%. In 30 days, peer-reviewed studies, and that's a big deal. The peer-reviewed studies are really important. So for kids on the spectrum, we need to lower oxidative stress. We need to lower inflammation. This lowers inflammation. Kids with on the spectrum, we need to address mitochondrial dysfunction. We also need to heal the gut. And so the idea that we have these family of products, and we also need to, you know, there's that whole gut-brain connection, and and we need able to do that for the kids. And so this family of products are all natural, and they are really addressing the idea of reducing that oxidative stress, lowering inflammation, healing the gut, and also improving mitochondrial function. So, you know, thank you, Carmen, for sharing your story. I'm so thrilled for Aiden. I'm thrilled for his future. I'm thrilled for the continued improvements that he's going to see. And we're going to get you again. We'll bring you back in another, you know, few weeks, maybe another month, and just so that you can share a little more, because I know that from our conversations, you have shared so often that over and over and over again, each day, there are more and more improvements that you continue to see in Aiden.
Huge improvements. I mean, we can't even keep count. I mean, we are just blown away by the things he says, the things he does. His personality is really shining through. I mean, there was a point in time where, I mean, I would cry, and I was, you know, so hurt and just depressed, because I wanted to know my baby, and I wanted to just hear his voice. I mean, I would, I just wanted to know him. I wanted to feel affection from him. I wanted him to say, "Mommy, I love you." I wanted him to say, "Give me a kiss." And now he's doing those things, and it's so amazing to, you know, watch him and to feel it, because it's genuine. I mean, just this morning he walked up to me and said, "Mommy, give me a kiss." And I mean, I jumped at the chance because we used to have to pin him down and talk to him. And so it has touched us. And I would encourage anybody who is skeptical to just try. I mean, you have nothing to lose, nothing. And hopefully everything to gain and gain your life back and give your baby that second chance to have a life as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, Carmen, your son is how old? 7? 8 and 7?
Yeah, he'll be 8 in
okay,
November.
Yeah. Awesome, awesome. So thank you again, Carmen. I'm going to go ahead and let you go because we've got another guest that's waiting on the sidelines to share his story as well. So thank you again, Carmen, from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you, Brenda.
Take care. Good night.
Good night.
And now we're going to have Josh Miles come on. And Josh and his lovely wife and family, they live in Phoenix, Arizona. And so there's Josh. He's joined us here. And thank you again. Thank you for jumping on here, sharing and just being willing to share your family's story. So with that, I'm just going to, I'm going to let you tell your story. I'm going to let you take it away. And if I think of anything that any thoughts that I have from prior conversations, I might step in, but just kind of like, how are you introduced to our Nrf2 activators? How old is your son? What's you guys experienced and how have things changed for your family?
Yeah, well, thanks for having me, Brenda. We were introduced to this back in 2016. Caleb, we were kind of at a crossroads. We found out he was allergic to wheat, dairy, and gluten, and that he was sensitive to 62 other things. So we were looking for answers, and we actually we started him on the products. My wife's a pharmacist, so she's familiar with the pharmaceutical industry, and she knows all about that stuff. I was a little I was dumb to it, didn't know. And she was becoming really big on all natural preventative ways of just living life, honestly. And so when we heard about the product, she was all for it. She did a little bit of research and she said, we got to try this. And so we did. And within 2 days, Caleb slept through the night for the first time in about 6 months. He would be up for hours at a time in the middle of the night. And we finally got him to sleep. And a couple weeks later, he walked in my office. And he said, hey, Daddy, I want to go to the store with you, because my wife and I have been discussing what kids were coming with me to the store. And he said, Daddy, I want to go to the store with you. Up to that point, he had a 6 to 10 word vocabulary, a lot of parroting, a lot of prompting for speech, and he would never really talk on his own. So when he did that, I became a believer in the products, because you just can't make that stuff up. You can't make up your kid who's 4 walking into your office and speaking in a full sentence for the first time. And so those are the type of things that, that was the first couple of things, but we started seeing stuff a lot more frequently. A lot of his therapists came to us and said, we've been working with him for a year. We've never seen these type of results. What are y'all doing? And so it was great. It was super exciting for us. We are huge advocates and fans of the products because of what they've done for him. We use the products that are not just for kids with autism, but the results that we've seen with him have been phenomenal. So.
I remember you shared that very first time when you said that he came into your office. Tell us a little bit more about that.
I mean, I was up here working. He overheard Camille and I having a conversation, and he walks in and he says, "Hey, Daddy, I want to go to the store too." And I'm looking at him like, wait, who is this talking to me right now? So I walked out the room and I asked Camille. I said, "Hey, did you tell CJ to come and let me know you wanted to go to the store?" Because he was able to do that. He could parrot if you worked with him enough on whatever it was you wanted him to say. And Camille was downstairs and she said, "No, he's in his room watching his iPad." And I was like, "No, he isn't. He's in there talking to me. You need to get up here to see this." And so it was crazy. I was like, that will forever be a memory for me. And so it was great. Yeah. It was great.
And I remember Camille saying, for her as a mom, I know that she's talked, we've talked at length, and I know that she has said that, the fact that she can have a conversation with her son, something that she had prayed for.
Absolutely. Yeah, about a week before that, she was actually in Starbucks journaling and was in tears, just saying in her journal, she was writing down that she just wanted to have a conversation with CJ. It had been, he was 4 years old, and she had never had a conversation with him. And God answers prayers. So shortly after CJ started talking, and he hasn't stopped since. So we love it. We got a little social butterfly in the house. He can communicate, and
he's also, you guys have discovered a talent. He's an artist.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, his ability to draw is phenomenal. So before he started taking the products, he would write his name and he would stack the letters. So he would spell his name Caleb, Caleb, and he'd stack the letters on top of each other. And I walked in his room one day, he's writing his numbers 1 to 50, and it was like, okay, I didn't know you knew your numbers 1 to 50. And then he starts drawing all this crazy, phenomenal artwork. So I mean, the movie Sing, he draws all those characters freehand from memory. It is phenomenal what he's able to do with a pen now. So, not only his social skills, but also his ability to just, be in control of his body movements. Is phenomenal. So, those are the type of things that we've seen with him. You cannot put a price on that stuff. You just can't. We didn't wake up and say, "Hey, God, give us a kid with autism," but we're grateful for him. We want him to be himself, but we want him to be able to function, and we wanted to be able to communicate with him, and we can do that now. So we attribute a lot of his success to the health products that he's on, for sure.
Yeah. And talk a little bit about the interactions now with his siblings, because you guys have 3 other kids as well.
Yep, he loves his siblings. They love him. I mean, listening to him, he and Sarai, they're 18 months apart, and listening to them be able to hold a conversation is phenomenal. I mean, a year ago, that wouldn't have been remotely possible. And my daughter is a little chatterbox, so she will talk your head off. But she does great. She draws him out. She tries to boss him around, and he will let her know, like, no, I don't want to do that. So I mean, those are the type of things that, it's funny and it's cute and it's fun, but when you don't have a kid that can communicate, it's frustrating for him and it's frustrating for a lot of other people. And so it's been great. It's been great.
Awesome.
We understand him in brand new ways.
Say again?
We understand him in brand new ways, so it's great.
Awesome. Thank you, Josh.
Absolutely.
Here you have your wife as a pharmacist, and she's super excited about these products. What was the difference with regards to the science? Was the science important to you?
It was. So I'm not a science guy. I'm a business entrepreneurial guy. But my wife is big on science. And honestly, I went to college and said, I'm going to get a degree that I don't have to take a science class in, so I have a business degree. But these products actually have turned me on to love the scientific side of just how our bodies work. To know that the stuff that God has grown out of the ground is better than synthetic drugs is great. Is great, and the body's ability to heal itself when it's functioning on the right food sources is phenomenal. So, especially at a genetic level, at a cellular level is phenomenal. Yeah. So, yeah.
Oh, I know. Oh, you know what? Suzanne made a comment that he now, I guess he was kicked out of his other school because he had made too much progress, and now he actually has friends at school.
Yeah. So we put him in one school, and he was too advanced for the class, which. We never thought we'd hear. Yeah, we never thought we'd. It was actually a year ago. It was August of last year. We put him in a school for kids with autism, and he was there for about a month, and he started to regress. We didn't know what was going on. We met with the director, and she said, honestly, he's just too advanced for the class. 8 months prior to that, when we started him on the products, he would have fit right in. So he is in a typical classroom with his peers now. He's at a Montessori school. Just started kindergarten. There's a little girl in his class that likes him. I don't know what's up with that, but I mean, it is, he's able to engage with his peers. The students love him drawing. He has a birthday next week. He'll turn 6, and he actually asked to have an art party. So we're having a birthday party for our 6-year-old who have a bunch of his friends come over, and they're going to get to draw with him and stuff. So it's fun.
That is incredible. That's incredible. Thank you, Josh, so much.
Absolutely.
What do you go ahead, and we've been on for a little bit now, but what do you want to leave folks with? And by the way, for those of you guys that are watching, we're talking about Nrf2 activation. We're talking about how these products help kids with autism. We're going to actually do a Zoom webinar, a webinar on Sunday evening at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 7 Central time. So if you're listening to this, and if you are, have someone in your life that you want to get in front of this information, information, or maybe you know somebody, just that somebody would benefit, comment me below in the comments section, and we will send you the link to a webinar that we're going to be doing on Sunday evening, so that we can go into the science of what we're talking about and talk about the products. And if it resonates with you, great. But if you think that there's someone that needs to hear this information that you think would gain value, let us know, and we'll make sure that we get that link out to you. So with that said, Josh, what do you want to leave folks with?
I say this: be open to things that are outside of the normal daily routine that we're presented with. The pharmaceutical industry is huge. There are ways that we can help our bodies to heal themselves and function at a higher capacity, that like they were made to, with all natural health products. And if you have a kid with autism, please reach out to me, reach out to Brenda, reach out to Carmen. We'd love to discuss how you can potentially experience some of the same benefits that we have. It's not a game. I mean, we don't know where we'd be without these products. We have a kid that can talk now because he's been on this stuff. So I mean, yeah, we're excited. We'd love to talk to people about it. This isn't about anything other than helping people, you know, from a health perspective. And if you have a child with autism, that's becoming more of a common thing. So being able to put kids in the best position possible to be healthy and to live lives as citizens of society where they can be influential and really achieve what they're capable of. And so that has been the story for us. We look forward to what is to come, but we also are grateful for what we've already experienced. So that's what I will leave.
Awesome. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Josh. So with that said, you guys, thanks for those of you for watching this. Again, comment me below if you're interested in receiving a Zoom link so that you can participate on a webinar on Sunday, this coming Sunday evening. A very special, heartfelt thank you to Carmen and to Josh for being vulnerable and for sharing the story of what's happening for their kids. And you guys, my greatest joy is to be able to witness this myself and to be able to change lives and to be able to make an impact. So with that said, you guys have a great evening and take care.
Thanks, Brenda.
Good night, everyone.